Hello and welcome to Peter Card in the UAE. Today, day 21, driving in the UAE. I'll talk about hertz, roundabouts, speed bumps, and traffic laws. So, um, I really, when I moved here, had in mind hopefully not getting a car. Um, I was hoping I'd have a school close enough I could either get a bus to, or take a taxi to, or walk, or even ride a bike, just because that would just be money I could save. But my school is 30 minutes away from my apartment complex, so that really wasn't going to happen. My HOF, which is head of faculty, who is like the person who's over the American teachers at the different schools, he lives in the same complex, so I could pretty much ride with him every day if I wanted to. Really nice guy from England. Um, but just that kind of dependence on someone. What if he gets sick or can't make it or has somewhere to go after school? That's just not a long term plan. And the next decision I've decided, well, okay, I am going to get a car, was are you going to rent a car or buy a car? Renting is pretty expensive. Um, Buying a car, of course, is expensive also. But buying a car, you get, of course, I guess some of it back when it's time to sell it, because you're really not going to take it home with you because it's a European type car. It's not an American type car. Even if it looks like an American car, the fixings on it are, for lack of a better term, are European. So I went with renting a car from Hertz. Um, Good thing about that is, maintenance free. Anything happens to it, I take it in, and they fix it, which is good for me. It's also very likely, not just for me, but for everybody, that you can have an accident here. I mean, accidents are very, very common here. Not necessarily always horrible accidents, but just small accidents. So we're going to talk about what driving has been like this week. I've had the car since Tuesday. Today is Friday. So let's go back to PowerPoint for a second. So roundabouts. Let me find a picture of roundabouts for you and a sign that goes with it. Oh, a little bit ahead of myself. Well, here's my car. This is a Toyota Yaris. It's the cheapest one they have. Reminds me of my wife's Versa. Very economical. Not much power, which is a good thing. Um, so this green sign is really like the crux of what driving here is all about. This is um, a roundabout sign. So what it is there's a circle in the middle of the road, which they have a few of these, in the United States sometimes. There's a circle in the middle of the road very often, and then you have to go one of the directions coming off the circle. In Georgia, I know, I don't know where one. I think there's one I've seen in Conyers, one in Covington, but it's strictly just like a one-lane roundabout where you just put it in place of putting a traffic light. Well, most of these are 3 lanes, so there's 3 lanes of traffic going in every direction, and 3 lanes basically coming out in every direction. Pretty much you yield to anybody who's getting out of the roundabout while at the same time you're trying to go to your section to get out. Um, Most of the time, they're not that bad. Let's have a picture of one. Yeah, here's one right here. This is the big circle that's in the middle. And if you see the cars on the other side, they're coming around the outside of the circle. I'm at the front part of another end of the circle. So everybody's constantly merging and getting off. What's kind of stranger is that you have people from so many different places that you have a whole lot of different driving styles or driving rules, or aggressive drivers or unaggressive drivers. You have people who don't really know how it works, which sometimes I'm probably in that group. Or you're not sure where you're going, so maybe you make a last minute decision to get off of it, or maybe you want to stay on it. So they're quite interesting, but so far so good. I think I've only really messed up one time in it. I didn't really yield to somebody who was trying to get off, so they kind of had to keep going around in a circle because they were in front of me and I kept going. And I'm pretty sure they were cursing at me and blowing at me. People blow their horns a lot over here at you in traffic. Also, another part of traffic is everything is based on these super long roads like this. So it's roundabouts, and then there's these super long roads. So if you miss your wrong turn at a roundabout, sometimes you have to drive quite a bit till you get to the next roundabout. Now, there are some traffic lights. There are quite a few traffic lights, just not as many. The more traditional traffic lights, just like our traffic lights, but um, to me, many more roundabouts than traffic lights I see, so that's just something to get used to. So when I got my rental car, I followed the HOF, had a faculty person who lives in the same complex with me home that day, no problem. Followed him back to school the next day, so that Wednesday I said, I've got to do this sooner or later by myself. So I decided to take the trip home by myself, and I also said, well, I'm going to see if I can just remember all these roundabouts, how to get there. Now, it's a 30-minute trip. I have some photos to show you of my extra time I spent driving here. This is Oman, which is the next country. Now, my apartment is right on the border, but this was even beyond the border of where I should have been. So it just turned into basically a field trip. Spent quite a bit of extra time driving. Here's the border between the countries. There's the mountains over in Oman. Back to here for a second. So instead of taking me 30 minutes to get home, it took me about an hour and 30 minutes to get home. Just a little bit off there. But you can't really find yourself until you get lost sometimes. So from that day on, I pretty much don't go anywhere unless I first Google Map how to get there. Google Map is very good. It shows you exactly where to get off on every roundabout. And even still, I messed it up sometimes. So I've gotten it down to about 35, 40 minutes on the trip home. So I'm not too far off. But yeah, driving is not terrible. But you just have to keep in mind an accident may happen. Take your rental car back in and get another one. That's what I'm going to do if it happens. Hopefully I'll be okay though. That's it for today. I will see you next time. Again, you can have a question or a comment. You can put it in the YouTube question or comments, or you can email me at whizkidsadvs@gmail.com or on the Facebook link. See you later. Bye.